show some of my post-wake up routines. There's a cup of super strength coffee. I like to make it super strength, which means that it's super strong and has more caffeine than a cup of coffee. I like caffeine. So how do I make my super strength coffee? Well, I got about 2 flat tablespoons of instant coffee powder, and 1 caffeine capsule, 200 milligram caffeine capsule, and then open and empty it in there, stir it up, and also put a pinch of this salt mix, natural salt mix, which is a mix of Himalayan pink salt and sea salt in there. So that's how I make my coffee. It's not just this time, but that's how I make my coffee. So I know some people drink like 15 cups of coffee. I'd rather drink 4 cups of super strong coffee per day than 14 cups of average strength coffee. So this is my super strength coffee. It has somewhere around 250, 275, close to 300. Okay, let's say close to 300 milligrams of caffeine. Right, it's like a concentrate. So caffeine is something you can build up. Caffeine is a substance you can build up tolerance to over time. Which means if you start drinking a cup of coffee a day, then after a while you go to 2, after you go to 4, eventually it's like you one cup of this super strength coffee, 1 cup of this super strength coffee, maybe it affects me as much as 1 cup of coffee did, like the first year when I've been a rookie coffee drinker. So here's my super strength coffee. What's in there? 200 milligrams of caffeine from a caffeine capsule, so from a caffeine capsule, approximately 2 flat teaspoons of instant coffee powder, and then a pinch of natural sea salt, blend a mix of 2 types of natural salt, Himalayan pink salt and sea salt, which is good for electrolytes. It's good for hydration and absorbing liquids. Here I have my vitamin C water concentrate, which I mixed up yesterday, and after waking up I added poured in some more vitamin C powder into it. So the yellowish color from a B complex tablet that has completely been dissolved in the liquid there. So there's creatine in there, there's a lot of vitamin C, and a B complex tablet that's been dissolved in there. So it's part of my routine after waking up. Within 30 minutes I get a cup of coffee and vitamin C into my system. So that's the most important things in the morning, physically, in the natural. I also have routines where I like to pray to God at the start of the day. Well, I saw Kevin SAHA make a video on the Rapture. Whatever his channel is called. I used to be called Kevin SAHA. He renamed his channel, changed the name. Now here's the point, Kevin SAHA is wrong. So Kevin SAHA teaches that you can know the day of the rapture. There's a person gonna get blocked, alcohol. They wrote that alcohol is the best solution for the problems, quote unquote. No, it's not. Me, I quit drinking. I'm close to, moving toward 5 months being a teetotaler. I haven't had a drop of alcohol for more than 4 months. I made a deal with somebody I know in real life, a Christian, as a Christian as I am. And they didn't like me drinking. And if you care about somebody, you're gonna give them advice. So it's like I might want to stop drinking alcohol. It's not good for you. Keep drinking. I like drinking now and then, okay? So I wouldn't drink heavily. I was never addicted to alcohol. So if I just tell people in the stream, it's like close to 4 months now, or like 5 months, not a drop of alcohol, you sound like an alcoholic. Most of the times people talk like that. It's like they're counting the months or something like this, they're alcoholics. So you might get that impression. Here's the point. I quit drinking alcohol 100%, and I'm close to 5 months now without a drop of alcohol. And I made a deal with somebody to not drink alcohol for a full year. And I just had some spittle run out of my mouth there. So I made a deal with somebody that I know to not drink alcohol for a full year in exchange for something. So they gave me something in return for a promise to not drink alcohol for a full year, close to 5 months. Okay, 4 months plus not drop alcohol. So anyway, here's the point. That person's gonna get blocked. Alcohol is not a solution to problems. Okay. You should look into supplements. Now they might be trolling, but if somebody is drinking and using alcohol as a self-medication, like the person is commented just got blocked, you should learn more about supplements, because there's things that there's supplements you can take that can change your mood, that can calm you down or give you energy, whatever you're looking for. If you're dealing with anxiety and that's why you turn to drinking, the supplements that can lower anxiety. Ashwagandha, for example, what are some supplements I take that help me to not get too stressed and anxious, to help to manage stress. Ashwagandha, I take magnolia, niacinamide, vitamin B3, aka niacinamide. Vitamin C itself helps with stress. So on and so forth. So anyway, that's the point. I saw Kevin Sacker make a video. He used to go by Kevin Sacker, and he changed his channel name to King James Bible or something. And he made a video where he says that you can know the rapture happened at that point in time, quote unquote. So he's attacking the view that I adhere to, meaning I teach the doctrine called the imminency of the rapture. That's what I teach, meaning I believe that the rapture can happen anytime. And Kevin Sacker talks about, no, it's an appointed time. And one of his arguments is that, well, God knows when it's going to happen, he picked a certain time. Yeah, but you didn't change my mind with the video, Kevin Sacker, and you're wrong. The imminency of the rapture is the correct view, meaning a human being should hold the view that the rapture is imminent, meaning what? That it could happen any time. Kevin Sacker made a video attacking this view and saying, no, the rapture cannot happen in a time. It will happen at the appointed time, at the Feast of Trumpets, he says. He's wrong. So, this because God knows what is going to happen. No man knows that day, the day or the hour, nor, no human being knows the time. There's nobody that knows the time, specifically. So, the imminency of the rapture, your view should be, if you want to be right on the rapture, is that you can't know. You're not going to be able to know, not roughly. You're not going to know what week it's going to happen or what year. You're not going to be able to know what season in a year. Okay, well, it's going to happen. I don't know what the year, but it's going to happen in the winter or something like this. You can't even know that. So, the correct view of the rapture is it's imminent. Okay, that's the view that I hold to, the imminence of the rapture, which is the correct view, which means me as a human being, I can't know when the rapture is going to happen, which I don't try figuring out. Okay, yeah, as God said, no man can know the day or the hour of the rapture. So this is the pride in human beings, and it's also like an appeal to each ear type topic. Robert Breakers are these big sellout Christians that is teaching things which ought not for filthy lucre's sake. Meaning he makes money, he's monetized on YouTube, and he gets money every time somebody takes his video. And he made a video about the rapture, meaning making a video where he gives you the impression that you might be able to know the day of the rapture if you watch his video on the topic. And after that, that was one of his top videos. They got the most views. After that, he kept it going, like a double down on, like keep making videos on the rapture now, and rapture speculation videos, because he makes money. So that's a person teaches things you ought not for Lucas' sake, as far as I'm concerned. So here's the point. I hold to the imminence of the rapture, which means that you can't know when the rapture is going to happen. And let's have another sip of this cup of coffee. Which is, I have the same view. You should have the same view. How should a human look at the day of the rapture? You should hold to the imminence of the rapture, meaning you should think, I don't know, I can't know when it's going to happen. So it's pointless, it's a waste of time and sinful. It's an act of sinful rebellion to act as if you're going to be able to figure it out. Okay? Because God says in his word that you're not going to know. No man knows the day or the hour, save the Son only, or something like this. That's one of the verses I'm basing this on. And then there's several verses. If I want to make a video, I can make a video on my laptop and like screen share and whatever. But it's like I'm off from memory and I just won't go. So that's the point. no man can know the day or the hour of the rapture, so you should hold to the imminency doctrine, the imminency view. You should, meaning if you want to be right, okay? So I'm for freedom of belief and opinion and speech, so I believe you have the right to say that, like, be an atheist on you. So can say, it's like, no, there is no God. I believe you have the right to that wrong opinion and to share it with people. Now, what I'm saying when I say you should, I mean if you want to be right, to be precise. I mean, if you want to be right when you talk about the rapture, you should hold to the imminence of the rapture. I mean, it could happen at any time. And like I said, Kevin Sacker made a video. We can't know the rapture. No, he attacked the imminence of the rapture doctrine and goes, well, it's going to happen at that point in time, the Feast of Trumpets specifically. So he seems to be able to, he thinks that he knows when it's going to happen roughly. See, when really the correct view is you cannot know at all. You can't know what year, you can't know what season, you can't know if it's going to be winter or summer or fall. Now, the Bible divides the year into two halves, like the cold and hot season, basically, summer and winter. And then it's like, if you think about that, it's like when the winter starts coming, it gets colder, and then like this ice and snow, depending on where you live. So it's basically, that's how I look at the year too, like two halves, the cold part of the year and the hot harder part, like the warm and cold season. Now here's the point. You cannot know when the rapture is going to happen. Okay, not roughly. You can't get like a, well, we can't know. So what is wrong? It's wrong to have any type of kind of zero in on when the rapture is going to happen. We can't know the year, okay? Like what, it's going to be 2029 or something like this. But we can know what week it's going to happen. It's going to be week 7, 2029. No, you can't know that. You can't know if it's going to be at the beginning of the year, the end of the year, during this holiday, this new moon, whatever, some Jewish feast or whatever. You're not going to be able to know when the rapture is going to happen. So the imminence of the rapture means the correct view. It is, you should look at it. I thought about this yesterday. You should look at it like you look at your death. See, the imminency of death. All human beings, the correct doctrinal position should be the imminency of death. See, where you should look at the rapture, if you're a Christian, in a similar way as you look at your life, where you could die. See, the imminency of your death, because you can't know when you're gonna die. Okay, it's like, yes, there's some people that get cancer going to the ICU, like Hulk Hogan, who passed recently. And he was in the hospital for weeks before that. Maybe the nurses and doctors telling him we're not expecting to make it or something like this. Or somebody gets a terminal disease and diagnosis, and the doctor tells you you got 2 years to live or something like this. It's like, oh, I know I'm getting close to dying, and then maybe they keep up there, yeah, it looks like you got a month or something like this. No, it's like even then you can't know for sure. So sometimes people outlive the expectancy, and sometimes they underlive it. So there's people that are, so it's not just like people, human beings. Here's another topic that's important. People should have a sense of like a reality about the mortality, that it could happen any day, like an acceptance of this fact that their death could happen any day. And notice how God has there's a point that the man wants to die. But that's not talking about this like an appointment God made for you to die. As far as I'm concerned, I've seen that view, by the way, where somebody told me, yeah, God has picked a certain day that you're gonna die as a human. No. It's like you're thinking carnal. It's like you have a doctor's appointment. You're living in a world, and you have applying the worldly thinking to the Bible. Okay, this is a Bible teacher, Edward P. F. made a video on this. It's like, yeah, God is appointed. He's picked a certain day for man to die. That's not what it's appointed unto man but wants to die. If you look at the verse there, it is appointed unto man but wants to die, and after this the judgment, which means God has decided that man gets one life. So that is a proof text against reincarnation. If you're doing apologetics to a Buddhist or somebody, a Hindu person that believes in reincarnation, that we have past lives and 6 lives, you get a second attempt. If you deal with like apologetics with a person doing soul winning, like India, stuff like this, it's like that's the worst you could pull up, talking to the person. No, I'm not worried about dying, going to hell. And you're trying to preach them the gospel. Because I believe I'll come back and get another chance for this. It is important that man but once to die after this judgment. See, so God has decided that man gets to live once, die once, and after this, the judgment. Are they just going to go to heaven or the lake of fire? And that's decided before you pass, before you die. So here's the point. The imminence of the rapture, you should look at it similarly as your death, where you can't know 100% when you're going to die. What's going to be the day, not of the rapture, but your death. There's people, it's not like everybody gets cancer and like you got 1 year to live by the doctors, you got time to prepare. There's young people that, like NFL athletes, that like suddenly die of a heart attack, like an example of health and fitness, and they die suddenly of a heart attack running across the field, something like this. There's a person that can be healthy, slip in the bathtub, hit the back of the head on the bathtub, and they die. There's people that are, it's like get on a bus, go to work or school, and boom, they get hit by something, they die. So it's like you cannot know for certain when that's gonna be. Okay, and that's similar to how you should look at the day of the rapture. It's something that you're not gonna. God doesn't let you know. See, God does not let a human know. It's like send an angel to my room. Like if you become good enough for a Christian, that God is like, yeah, it's not that it's not on the table. See, do you understand? It's not that it's like you're failing, or there is a chance that if you grow as a Christian, become a super good Christian, pleasing God a lot, you study the Bible, you pray every day, and like now you can know the day of the rapture or when you're gonna die. Or it's like you get really good as a Christian and grow, and now it's like, okay, God sends an angel and be like, hey, the day of the rapture. It's gonna be September 21st, 2030, and you're gonna die June 4, 2019 or something like this. There's nobody that is going to get that revelation where God tells them there's certain things that are outside of your capability, like outside of your ability to know, where it's like a limit where you're not able to know. There's certain things that God doesn't let humans know, and it's not that you have a chance to figure out. So it's not a term like only like why people are too dumb to be able to figure out the day of the rapture. There is like in the Bible the date. If you just look hard enough and meditate on, you can find the date in there or something like this. No, okay. So it's something that God has limited, that human beings will not be able to know to a certainty what day the rapture will be, and human beings will not be able to know what day they're gonna die. Now I would say this, they just hit me. The exception would be people on death row in like Texas. That'd be like the rare exception. But for most human beings, like 99.99% of people, like the death catch them was by surprise. Or even if they're in the hospital, in the ICU, terminal care, like sometimes they die in their sleep. They go to bed, it's like they expect them maybe to wake up tomorrow, have another day being sick in the hospital, and they die in their sleep, or something like this. Or it's like they're being sick, look at TV, and they start having a heart attack. Baby machines stop beeping, people come there like defib stacked, and they try to get them back or something like this. Okay, like that guy in the movie Green Mile, try to get him back, and they try to get you back, but like the notice how the government, they have some electric machines to like hurt you, like a taser. Okay, then they also have machines to save your life, like as a pattern. But they're like the defib machines. If you're in Sweden and you're drunk outside, it's like the cops show up, like screw you cop or something like this, they come out. Eventually they might be able to put a taser, like hit you with. Okay, so this is sort of way you can navigate where it's like that ends up happening to you. Now also it can happen, which like maybe if you have an accident up in the hospital, the same government that had like the cost with the electrical machines to hit you with, they can also go like, oh, this guy's having a heart attack, like, okay, maybe come back, okay. So whatever, here's the point. We're not getting into the like patterns here. So here's the point, kind of like a little anecdote. Yeah, so the government can hit you with electricity to hurt you or to help you, okay. But they have electrical devices. And a lot of times the governments in the West, they have cars with tasers and they have hospitals with defib machines. So what is the point? Defibrillators. Okay, you see this. Okay, that's the point. You're not going to be able to figure out the day of the rapture, and it should be similar. Let's say similar to more precise. Okay, to your view on mortality, where you can't really know 100%. Most people, like 99.99% of people. So there's no perfect analogy. Anytime you make an analogy, if you investigate your own analogy enough, you will find that it has flaws, because a thing is a thing. The things that are different are never the same. Things that are similar can be similar, but never exactly the same. See, like humans, you can have a human and they can be looking similar to somebody else, but they never be the same. Like the gene code and everything, they're not gonna have this. They're not gonna be exactly the same. So it's like you see two people all look the same. If you would get like the blood and test it, it'd be like a difference in the gene code. So anyway, there's no perfect analogy really as far as I'm concerned. Here's the point. To be precise, most people, like 99.99% of people, do not know for sure when the day of the rapture is, when the death is going to be. Okay, the exception will be people on death row in America. They have a day where it's like, this is the day you're going to die because you're a serial killer, you murdered 10 people, got my card you put in here. And it's like, this is the day of execution. Now still, they can't know for sure, because it could be like the lawyer calls and be like, hey, we gotta wait to stay the execution date. Like in the last minute. A lot of times they're doing that the last minute, I think, the lawyers or the guy, that's wrong. They'll be like, hey, they're calling like numbers and trying to find a loophole in the law, calling the lawyers, they're calling the judge, whatever, they call the president, can we get a pardon, stuff like this. Possible. And it's like, it could happen that like you expect it to be this day. And the person thinks that like a Texas death row inmate, like, yeah, this is the day, my execution day. And they get a call, it's like, hey, it's canceled. Your lawyer called some senator or they found something to give you like an extra year to appeal your sentence, stuff like this, to try to beat the case, stuff like this. So it's like it'd be weird that somebody knows like 100%. Okay. Now with the rapture, it's not like most people or like 99.99% of people won't be able to figure out the rapture. It's like God has made a limit to where it's impossible for human being to know. So this is man's pride, okay? It's sin, basically. It's sin when you see people speculate about the day of the rapture and telling you that you can know it's going to be this day, it's going to be this year, it's going to be this. You're seeing sin, okay? You're seeing sin because sin is rebelling against God, okay? So God says don't lie, and the human sin nature is going to feel like lying, which is like going against God's law, his rule. God says don't murder each other, people, okay? And human beings end up like killing each other and murdering each other and doing it sometimes. So sin is rebellion against God. Whosoever sin is transgressed also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. So generally you have the law to Israel, the Jews, Deuteronomy, Leviticus, and this. You have to be right to divide, and that's not for you. I've had people come to my channel and tell me I'm supposed to stop eating pork and shrimp and shellfish and not celebrate birthdays, all kinds of weird stuff. Now here's the point, and that anymore. So here's the point. Where's I going with this? Yeah, you're not gonna be. Here's the point I want to make. You're not gonna be able to figure out the day of the rapture. Period. Just give it a rest and stop trying. Okay, you're wasting your time, and just you trying to anybody out here tell you, like, hey, you can figure out the day of the rapture. It's sin. Now everybody sins. It's not like that proves the laws or something like this. Like some people act like the Pope, or it's like they act like they can know who's saved and who's not. Like they got the book of life, a copy of what the guy gave them. Or something like they can like look and they be, oh, the guy on YouTube, I don't like, he's not a real Christian, he's going to hell. And some people act like this. So it's like they got the book of life, or like a copy of it. So that's the point. And whosoever's name was not found written in the book of life was cast in the lake of fire. So that's the point. You're not going to be able to know, so just trying to figure out and trying to deceive other people into thinking if they watch your videos, you can figure out it's sinful. Because it's rebelling against God. If you read the Bible, you can tell, okay, God is telling me as a human, you will not be able to know the day of the rapture. And if I read the Bible and I end up like, I'm going to know, I can figure out, yea, has God said, yea, has God said that you will not be able to figure out the day of the rapture. Yea, has God said that a man cannot know the day of the rapture, other than Jesus Christ himself. Okay, I think it says, save the Son only. No man knows the day of the other, save the Son only, I think. Something like that in the Bible. So, if God says human beings won't be able to figure out, you don't get to know this. I'm gonna get to know it. It's like this is the core of sin. It's like God says not to do something, you can't do it. It's like, I'm gonna do it. That's the human sin nature. It's like we're designed to do what God says you can't do. It's like, I'm gonna do it. God says do this, I don't feel like doing it. It's like, okay. It's like you can't know the day of the rapture. It's like, I'm gonna know the day of the rapture then, okay. And I'm gonna make money from 10 other people they can know. Teaching things which ought not to feel to Lucas sake. I won't make get more clicks on rapture speculation videos than regularly. So that's a clear case. So anyway, that's the point. I actually was making a video once exposing Robert Baker at the live stream. And in the middle of that, I had like 3 views over this. Robert Baker himself, they actually caught me by surprise. And in hindsight, I should have had him up on the panel or something like this. Now, here's the point. It's kind of weird. I wasn't expecting it. I was live, like exposing, like Rod Break exposed that live stream. Did what his services. It shows up in the stream while I'm still live. Hello, it's me, Rod Breaker here. Okay. And I think he started threatening to get my YouTube channel shut down. Eventually, the scumbag. So I didn't report the video yet, or something like this. Dude, scum. For the top of Rod Breaker, what some of his heresies. He's taught. He's corrupted the gospel with sinner's prayer, calling, asking, confessing for salvation. He's one of these people, fake free graces that have corrupted the gospel with calling, like baking in the doctor level of prayer being a part of what you do or what you can do to get saved. Calling from the heart, asking or believing. You say by believing, but yeah, you can call and pray in faith or something like this type of stuff. You say by faith, for by grace you say through faith, and that not of yourself. So it is a gift of God, not what's should boast, the Bible says. So Lord's side says only faith there. Hence the term faith alone. Salvation is by faith alone. If you see my videos, you subscribe to my channel, you see my videos, salvation is by faith alone, you already know what I mean. Because the Bible teaches salvation by faith alone. For by grace you say through faith, and that not of yourself. It is the gift of God, not of works, and men should boast. By grace through faith. So Ephesians 2:9. What is the one thing God says a man must do to be saved? Faith, see, through faith. He said through faith. That is the one thing a man does to be saved. Acts 16:31. A brother and mother said, Sirs, what must we do to be saved? And they said, Believe on Lord Jesus Christ, thou shalt be saved. And thy house. Believe, see. So the one thing that God says in Acts 16:31 that a human being must do to be saved is believe. Okay? What did the scripture Abraham believed on the Lord was kind of righteousness, and he was called a friend of God. See, another verse in Romans 4 or 5 somewhere that was where God says this how the man in times past was saved. So you have in Acts 16 a man asking how to be saved, and here's what he's told. Then you had the Bible talking about here's a man that was saved, and how was he saved? By faith. So you have all these verses telling you the only thing you need to do to get saved is to believe, have faith. By grace I say it through faith. So it's through your faith that you're saved. And that's the one thing. Also, Ephesians 2:9 doesn't say, for by grace are you saved, through the prayer of faith. But there's another part, if God meant that, the prayer of faith shall heal the sick or something like this, laying on of hands. It's a verse, a passage of scripture, that's like the prayer of faith. See? And there's different like prayers. Okay, you can pray fervently. See, the effectual, fervent prayer of righteous men availeth much. See? It can be effectual, it can be fervent or non-fervent. It can be effectual or non-effectual. Okay? So if God, if salvation was by prayer and faith, or if prayer had any part of it, why didn't God write, for by grace I say, through the prayer of faith, or through faithful prayer, or prayerful faith, or something like this. So you say by grace through faith, faith alone. Hence the term faith alone, because the Bible teaches faith alone. So if you look at Ephesians 2:9, by grace I say through faith. What is the one thing God when God is teaching about salvation, how many say in Ephesians 2:9? It's faith. So that's the one thing God says a man does to get saved is faith, through faith. Acts 16:31, a man asking how to be saved, the Philippian jailer. And Barnabas said, Sirs, what must it be said? And they said, Believe on Lord Jesus Christ, thou shalt be saved, and thy house. Believe. See, that's the one thing he's told he's going to believe. And then there's more specifics. It's not just believe vaguely, but it's believe, okay, faith alone. And then there's another topic with like specifics on what you believe in, okay. That's the point. So the Bible teaches salvation by faith alone. Okay, so I got that point out there. I don't even remember how I got into that, but it's how we got that laid out. So Ephesians 2:9, Acts 16:30-31. These two verses together. And then the verse I was referencing in Romans, where Abraham believed the Lord was kind of righteous, he was called a friend of God. So there's so many verses teach salvation by faith alone. It's not errors Rod Breaker. He's been corrupted the gospel in this prayer. Beware of that. Beware of people that claim to be faith alone, fraud, fallacious, fake faith alone preachers who claim to be faith alone, and they're throwing a sinner's prayer in the mix. Like, say this prayer to get saved. Here's the gospel, but say this prayer to get saved. Or you can't pray if you have faith in what you believe. Just believe the prayer. Pray the gospel, something like this. These guys are heretics. These people are heretics. So you say it by faith alone, and true faith alone is under attack by satanic infiltrators, works of Satan, that's been working like a snake to sit into the free grace faith law community. Like, I'm a faith law person, and then they corrupt the gospel, the sinner's prayer. See, because they know, I can see it. They know that if somebody shows up like Rapture Arnold, and like I'm a free grace faith law teacher, accept me as that, and send me donations. I preach the gospel, faith law, defend the gospel, faith law, and it shows up. Work hard to get saved. People are not going to be like, oh, he's a faith law preacher, but this subtle deception has been able to, Satan has got a foothold in the free grace community. That's what I see. Because like, you're saved, you're saved by faith alone. Now, if you haven't gotten saved in here, go ahead and say this prayer to get saved. That's subtle enough for the average, I'm faith alone, I'm a Christian, I'm Rapture, to not detect that this is not the gospel. It's like, it's not like, do this work, okay, get circumcised. Now, if you ever got saved here by the gospel, go and get circumcised or something like this, walk an aisle or do some assault or repent of your sins or something like this. You'll be like, whoa, this guy's not truly faith alone. See? But it's like, yeah, it's the gospel. Now go ahead and say this prayer to get saved. See? That's Rapture Arnold, a free grace infiltrated faith alone fake. He's one of these satanic infiltrators that have a fake faith alone preacher, where it's got a false reputation. If you go look at his YouTube channel, comments, it is uploads, and I've seen that because I'm making videos on his heresies. And you have to watch the videos, so you not just imagine it. Yeah, I got a sense he's been talking about this recently on his channel. So that's the point. You see people that Rapture Arnold, a great faith law teacher, defender of faith law, one of the best faith law teachers. And these are blind people, because he's not truly faith law. His reputation is that he's a faith law teacher. Now, if I go look at his YouTube channel, hear what other people say, ignorant people, it's like, oh, he's a faith law person. He's a faith law preacher, defender of faith law, contender for the faith law gospel, one of the best faith law teachers. But in reality, that's false. It's like he's not faith law. He's been attacking faith law, is the truth. Because his videos, he's adding prayer, which is a work, to the gospel. But it's subtle enough for most people to detect it. He's been adding a prayer. See, and there's a lot of infiltrators like this that have been claiming to be faith law, infiltrated the body of Christ, the free grace faith law doctor camp, the correct view, like faith law for salvation. And they get people not see that they're not faith alone, for real. Because they're subtle enough to the average person, that they're so blurry visioned, like they're so blurry eyed that they can't see this is a prayer. See, Charles Stanley, people will be like, why teaches faith to the gospel gets saved? Confess Christ as Lord, make him the Lord of your life in the prayers of what he said. I've seen him do that as a way of salvation. Andy Woods defend Charles Stanley, one of the most wicked heretics, like the great Charles Stanley or something like this. He's a great champion of Satan, who has been teaching false gospels, contending against the real faith. And that's who Andy Woods defends in his videos when they start attacking 9/11 being inside job people, which is the correct view too. None of it's an inside job, the government lied to you about 9/11. That's the point. Beware of faith law, free grace frauds, fake faith law preachers. If they're adding anything other than faith in the gospel to be saved, if they're mixing anything else in there, they're not really faith law. And remember, preachers that tell you saved by faith alone and then add a prayer or tell you to pray the gospel, or believe the gospel and pray, believe the gospel then pray, or believe the gospel or pray the gospel. If they mix in prayer, they're not truly faith alone. Your prayer life starts after you get saved. So I'm gonna finish up now. I'll show my morning routines. This is my super strength cup of coffee and my vitamin C water concentrate. So I put in about, and I'm not gonna go into exactly how much I heap it all times, but it's vitamin C water concentrate with a B complex tablets been dissolved into it, hence the yellowish color. And I put some creatine in there yesterday. So I made this yesterday live on YouTube. This vitamin C water concentrate. I kept adding water to it, and then this morning I put in some more vitamin C powder. Next, coming up next is the grand post-wake and post supplements. So my daily routine is I wake up like first thing in the morning, pretty much after getting up on bed, is I want to get some coffee, some caffeine into my system, and I get vitamin C water. So I want vitamin C and coffee flowing into my body within 10 minutes of waking up optimally. So I wake up first, like I get coffee and vitamin C. Now there's things I like to do, like pray too. A lot of times, first time of the day, I start praying to God. So I suppose Well, after that, so it's like coffee and vitamin C water. And then after a few hours, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, 3, 4 hours after waking up, there's the grand post wake up dose of supplements. So that means it's the first large substantial dose of supplements I take in a day. So I take a big dose of supplements not long after waking up. There's a grand post wake up dose of supplements. One big dose of supplements. I do fasting, so I do all my fast. I eat one time a day, fast around 23 hours, 9 or 10 days. Been doing that for years. And I still, when I'm eating breakfast, I take a big dose of supplements. And how I figure out how to do that is to buffer with some fat. I take omega-3 fish oil and then a bunch of supplements. And if I wouldn't take the omega-3 fish oil, I didn't have some fat in my stomach. Possibly I get nauseous from taking all these supplements I'm taking when I eat breakfast. There's the point. I take a grand post wake up dose of supplements, and there's a grand post mid dose of supplements, which I take after my one meal in a day. So after finishing eating, I have a big dose of supplements. So there's one big dose of supplements after waking up. There's one big dose of supplements after finishing my meal, my one meal in the day. So there's two big doses of supplements per day. And then I have vitamin C water on tap all day. Okay. And so I don't take vitamin C once a day. I have vitamin C water going into my body on an hourly basis. There's not an hour, there's not some vitamin C going into my body. So let's say I wanted to take 10 grams of vitamin C per day, okay? The best way to take 10 grams is not to take 10 grams in the morning once a day, and then 24 hours later, something you take 10 grams. It would be better that you divide the 10 gram amount into 10 1 gram doses throughout the day. See, and then you get more out of the vitamin C that you're taking. So it's not just about the dose, it's about the frequency. So we talk about health fitness topics here on YouTube. It's like nothing I've said in this live stream is taking some localized information. Okay, I just share my personal thoughts and opinions and habits, routines with you. Then talk to a doctor, licensed physician, before making any changes to diet, lifestyle, supplementation, and the medication. Talk to a doctor before starting to or stopping to take any supplements and or medications for making any significant changes to your lifestyle. Okay, so I'm gonna finish up pretty soon. I saw I had Leon was in here. Hello, Leon. He might have left already. I have been checking the comments. I see I had Leon son in here. It's a Japanese YouTube. This person wants to get blocked to somebody's a troll. People doing hate crimes in the chat. Mike is a Christian. We know that he, being a Christian, believes it's a sin to be homosexual. So to hurt his feelings and persecute him for his beliefs, the way we attack him is to be like, you're cute, and like pretending to be gay and hitting on him, because that's something this Christian doesn't like, okay? Which is a form of hate crime. People talk about hate crimes. It's like, oh, Mike is a Christian. Let's use gay pride colors around him or something to make him feel bad, to push his buttons. He's got this faith, Christian faith. Let's have a keychain with the gay pride flag when we're doing plumbing in his home or something. Do you understand? That I'm going to work on plumbing as a Christian. I know Christians think it's a sin to be gay. I wear like a keychain with a gay pride flag hanging on top and I go work and do the plumbing there. It's a hate crime. Okay. So what? I'm not joking. Yeah, I thought about that. These people like to talk about hate crimes. Yeah, the ones who talk the most about the biggest hate crimes. That's another trolling from there yet, because I'm a Christian. It's like come in and pretend to be gay and hitting on me to be like, you're cute or something. Just like look at the comments. It's like a man's name. You're getting blocked. This is one of these cyber stalks most likely. So me and my persecuted Christian, I'm talking about secret persecution called gang stalk, a ton of videos, and a lot of the trolling that I get on my channel are hated gang stalking trolls. So I'm a target of gang stalking, government gang stalking targeted videos, which is secret persecution porn that's been working to destroy my life for the last 10 plus years. So I've been targeted with gang stalk for more than 10 years, more than a decade. And what is gang stalking? It's a persecution program. It's a secret persecution program. People get recruited to target you in different ways, both mentally and physically. A big part of targeting so-called narcissist abuse tactics. And part of the targeting that I get is people online, cyber stalkers, get recruited to target me online with narcissist abuse tactics. So a lot of the trolling that I get on my channel are from cyber stalkers, people working, persecutors, paid persecutors, people work for this program, with their job to harass me online. And then there's people doing the same thing in real life. Anyway, with all the hate and everything going on, I didn't slow down or stop, so I'm not planning to stop doing what I'm doing. Like this slow down because people are harassing me in real life or online. Okay, this could be the video. I've been live for close to another hour. Yeah, so the Rapture, the right view on the Rapture, the doctor correct view is the imminence of the Rapture, where you cannot know the day of the Rapture. You will not be able to figure it out. So don't believe people. If you want to know the truth, you don't want to believe lies. Don't believe people that are telling you that you can figure out what the Rapture is. So give you a sense. If you watch my video, maybe you can know what the Rapture is. It's like, oh, this day they will have the new moon correlating with some Jewish feast. And I looked at the science website. They say it'll be stormy weather that day. I think this might be the day of the Rapture type videos. Or anything. If somebody's working to make you think that you can figure out the day of the Rapture, they're in heresy. And they're rebelling to God, because the Word of God teaches no man will be able to figure it out. No man will be able to know the day or the hour. There's not an issue. It's like if you study the Bible enough, pray enough, you grow as a Christian, you can know the day of the Rapture. No, God has put a limit. No man will know the day of the Rapture. And the correct view, which means from a human perspective, then Kevin Sacker is maybe not the sharpest tool in the shed. I don't know, but it's like, look at his behavior, it can be an indicator of what's going on with the organ, like the megahertz strength of this thing that's generating speech output. But here's the point. Kevin Sacker makes videos like, well, even as a Rapture, that's wrong. Okay, you can know the appointed time. This is God is appointed time. It's an appointed time. It's got to be a Jewish feast. Just because God has appointed time, it's not that this contradicts. Like God knows the time, but He will not let humans know. Do you understand? So God, of course, it's not imminency to God, but He does know what's going to happen. God knows when it's going to happen, but He will not let man know. See, so God knows, yeah, it's going to happen this day, but from a human perspective, the doctrine, imminence of the rapture, doesn't mean that nobody knows. Like God doesn't know. It's from a human perspective. As human beings, we will not be able to know the day of the rapture, even though God knows. Okay, so let's say God had decided He knows the rapture is going to be 2029. Okay, January 9, 2029. Every human being is going to not know this. Okay, so there will be imminency, because it could happen today, tomorrow, from a human perspective. You can't know if it's going to be today, tomorrow, next week, or a year from now. See, so from a human perspective, you can't know which day it's going to happen, and it could happen any day, because it's not like, well, this has to happen first. Everything is finished for Rapture to happen. Then the right view as a human being is, I don't know, it could happen today, it could happen tomorrow, which means imminence of the Rapture. So the correct view is the imminence of the Rapture, and people are trying to get you to think that you can know what day is going to happen. They are wrong. Okay. Then I'm going to finish up, see if I go live later on and do my... No, actually, I'm going to keep this on and just take a break, okay? Turn off the camera and the microphone for a while, and get some things done. But I end the stream, then come back later. So I'm gonna turn off the microphone, camera, and plug in my charger. I'll be back pretty soon. Camera. It's occupied. One's on. Also working. Also good working. Ah! The Rapture caught by surprise. Yeah, okay, so I'm finished. I'm gonna finish up. I might go live again later, we'll see. This could be on the video.